Hello, I'm Cookie Stoner, and welcome to Cookie Stoner Presents. I'm here with Chase Perreault. I love it. It's such a elegant name, isn't it? And I say it the right way too.
You do.
Right, I do. Does
do.
anyone ever call you Perreault or something?
I get Perreault.
Perreault, yeah.
A lot.
Perreault. I love it, and we'll have your name up on the screen, so it's
There we
quite a
go.
lovely name. Now, Chase, you've been a little buddy of mine forever, and of course, you hit the big 3-0 this year. I'm telling everybody, man.
I did.
You're
I
coming
did.
out as 30 today, right? 30 years old, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You ma'amed me. We
I know
we
it.
talked
I know
about
it.
that.
And we just talked
when
about
you
it.
turn 30, you're not allowed to ma'am me anymore. God, I hate that. But that's okay. It's just a Southern thing, right?
It is.
That's a Southern thing. Now, Chase, you have been, and how long have you been married?
It'll be 3 years in February.
3 years. So 26 is always a good age to get married. And tell me your spouse's name.
His name is Cody.
Cody. Okay. And do y'all share a last name, or
I took his name.
you took his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are married to a gentleman. He's a very fine young man, and that's what we want to talk a little bit about today. Is not just because it's National Coming Out Day.
Right.
We hope that every day can be a coming out day, and we hope that people don't have to come out. That's really what
Right.
this is all about. When I posted something on Facebook that I wanted people to, whether it's parents or people who are, whether you're gay, let me know
Right.
if you want to have a conversation with me. And I think, obviously, as I said, and because my daughter, of course, we know that Camille is gay, and there's a lot of people who are. Have a problem with it because they think,
Right.
from a religious standpoint of view, I think there's a lot of fear. And, I'm not here to create controversy. I'm just here to share stories. And what I have found is, even years ago when I would talk to different friends, because I've always had, I've been very fortunate to have worked even back in the 80s with, gay people. That was sort of the first time in Birmingham. And just to realize that they didn't feel like this was ever a choice. No, it was not a choice, that it was just who they were.
Right.
Just like you were born with blue eyes.
Right.
And I do believe that. And, I am I'm coming out as a parent and as a person who I'm not even afraid of the religious backlash, because that doesn't bother me, because I'm very firm in where I am, and I'm very firm with where other people are. And, it's not even about being your business or my business. So let's get to you. It's more important that you talk.
Okay.
And, when was the first time that you can remember knowing that you were, did you just think you were different, or did you know what it was?
Well, the first time I can remember having feelings
Right.
and not being old enough to know what those feelings were,
I've heard this a lot. Right.
probably elementary school.
Elementary school.
Elementary school.
And
it didn't go away. And not that I wanted it to go away, but it just, as I got older, the feelings progressed, and I knew. I just knew.
did you have a name for it? I mean, obviously you were born in what year?
87.
87. So you were born in 87. So it was becoming more, people were becoming more open, and
Right.
it was not as becoming as such a taboo or
Right.
whatever. So you probably knew, as a youngster, or did your family know, gay people, or did they ever talk about, or did you know?
I never really had.
You were never exposed to.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I just knew.
So you were
I
so
just
you were kind
knew.
of having crush on someone else. When maybe other guys are having crush on the girls, you're like, I'm kind of like crushing on him.
Right.
So, and that's when the first time you realize it. And, I've heard some other, young people discuss, and especially a young gay man discuss that, he articulated it sort of the way you knew. I knew when I was younger,
Right.
but then I was trying to get through my adolescence, and he had the wherewithal to understand that, let me get through sort of my hormones and see if this is just this.
Right.
Am I just going through some stage?
Right. Well, middle school, when I started middle school, it was over. I knew for sure.
You knew for sure.
There was no.
Because the hot girl wasn't the hot girl, right? Okay.
Right.
It's like, he's the hot, yeah, he's
right.
hot. Okay.
So, middle school, you start dressing out for PE and,
Right.
all of the above. And it just, Yeah.
So it just became like, okay, wait a minute. Now, did you ever feel that? Well, first of all, did you feel like it was wrong? Was there ever any shame involved?
I never had shame.
Yes.
I never had shame.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean that I put it out there like that.
Well, sure, you're right.
But
Well, and really, sometimes inwardly is worse than.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to. Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's not, and it really isn't for other people. You know, this is more like we said. This is more just telling your story, but it's not to say like, oh, I'm here and I'm proud of it. And even though you can be,
Oh,
and
yeah,
there are
absolutely.
people. If people, it's however people decide they want to tell their story, is what's important. But it's sort of that inner shame that's what's important.
for me, it got to the point to where I did not feel like I was being true to myself. So I picked my best friend to tell first. I was in 8th grade.
And was your best friend heterosexual?
My best friend was a girl.
Oh, you're. Oh,
So-
well, I'm not trying to be funny, but I guess I'm like, duh. Okay, I know.
Right,
I can say
so-
that now. Because I'm not in with the community. I'm just kidding. I'm like, that is kind of funny. Like, duh, I should have figured that
So
out.
yeah, so I
Okay.
started with her, and then from
And that's
her-
not offensive, right?
No, not
That's
at all.
funny.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, that's funny. I didn't even realize that.
So, and after her, it went to my grandmother.
Okay.
And yeah,
Like you told your grandmother?
absolutely.
Yes. Oh, see, I remember, because I've known you for a long time, I knew how close you were to your grandmother and how precious and supportive
Right.
that she always was. And I know she passed away when?
It'll be 2009.
Wow.
2009.
Wow. I think I remember when, that, I just remember she's always said, what did she say? Did she say, yeah, I know?
Well,
or did she just,
you know, it was, she knew when I sat her down what we were going to talk about, and I don't even think I ever had to say it.
right. She's like, okay, really?
Right.
Is that
it
really?
was just, it was just one of those things.
Right.
So,
Oh. Okay, so you told your grandmother, you told your best friend, who was a girl, of course, and
Right.
everyone, they were like, okay, it wasn't an issue. Did you then begin to tell, like, say it out loud in school, or?
Well, the school thing is a little tricky. We were actually in New York with choir, and we had just finished watching Les Mis.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to laugh, but I'm like, okay, because I'm really not trying to be stereotypical.
Right,
I do love this, but I love
right.
the way you're setting it up.
So we had
are you
just-
trying to set me up and make
So
this
we
a
had
funny-
just finished
yeah.
watching Les Mis,
Okay.
and something was said at the end where the characters were coming out
Right.
and bowing, and
Right.
something was said, and something said something. Oh, well, Chase is, and it just started. So after that,
So someone felt like your coming out story was supposed
Yeah,
to be in a Broadway
yeah,
play,
yeah,
so they
yeah.
thought that would do it for
Right.
you. Was that hard? I mean, was
It
it someone
was,
were they being cruel, or were they
were being funny.
were trying to be funny?
They were trying to be funny, and then the next thing I know, we're headed back to Decatur. And by the time we get back to Decatur, the whole school knows.
Wow.
So
Okay. Well, let's do this. What we'll do is we're going to sort of end that part of the segment, and then we'll pick up on the next segment about the whole school knew. How about that?